Today we're going to learn how to make a toilet without either power, water or sewage facilities. The materials that we're going to use to construct this, if you can get hold of a hammer, a toilet seat from inside the house, some nails, a screwdriver, a Stanley knife, a saw. If you've got access to a crowbar, an old rubbish bag, that would be good as well. We're going to use some pallets. These are available from most industrial estates and they're waste, just rubbish. Make sure you do though, ask them that they are rubbish because some are recyclable. The average toilet height sits around between 400 and 500 mils high. That's a good height to sit down on. And you can see that we've made this one with a pallet on the bottom, which is really good for getting above any dirt, and it's good for the lasers you've got to dress, etc. The idea is to use the structure of the pallet as much as we can. I suppose you do need to be a little bit selective in terms of the pallets you use. There's all different types in terms of the underlying structure of the pallet itself. So ideally we've got a piece of 4x2 in the middle, or 100 by 25, just remembering our height of our toilet, which we want to make from that pallet. So 400 and 450. So you can see here we've got 3 slats. That's around 450 mils. So that'll do to make our 2 sides. You can see the sides just sitting to the left of me there. So we'll grab our saw, and then what we want to do is cut through the centre of the pallet, just to the right of that underlying structure. So once we have cut one side of the pallet, then we'll actually cut it into quarters, and here's 1 quarter here, and the other end of the pallet another quarter as well. So just cutting straight through to the right of where I have just shown you there. So once you've cut through the 2 pieces, then you put them up side by side, and then what you want to do is obviously have a small gap in the middle. How big is that gap? Let's get our toilet seat, put that on top. We can measure ideally, the ideal measurement is 250 mils is a good gap between the sides of the pallet that you've got. So again, just 250 mils. Now from the waste that you've got from the other side of your pallet, you need to break that off. So just break it up. You might need to use a crowbar or a hammer, or it could just come apart. Now you can cut it down to the width of our toilet, make a nice joining job out of it. You could just nail it on and then cut it off, or just cut it off first. That's entirely up to you. Here's our finished product. Just coming back to how you do it, just nailing on the ends, sort of 3 or 4 pieces down, and did on the other side. Obviously the pallet's got gaps in it. You can fill in those gaps with smaller pieces that you can cut. And just trim it up to make it look really nice. Depends how far you want to go to make it really nice. Once you've done that, you've got I suppose you've got the sides and the back. Then you need to work on the top. And what we need to do is create something for the toilet seat to sit on. So again, coming back to the waste materials that we've got, grab a piece of 4x2, something similar, and then get a pencil, get our internal measurement, and then cut the piece of timber to fit inside the gap inside that 250 mils. The toilet seat is actually, the back of the toilet seat is actually going to sit on this piece. So we grab our toilet seat, we put it back on the piece of 4x2 that we've cut, and now we want to do is create some hinge sort of scenario. You can also fill in the back of the toilet, because obviously, as I said before, it doesn't really matter what the length is. That's somewhere you can put your toilet roll, for example. So getting our toilet seat, we'll actually secure that in a minute, but what we first need to do is work on the base, and so to do that we need to turn the toilet upside down, and then we need to grab our pallet, another pallet that hasn't been cut, and then put that on top of the toilet itself. Put it nice and square, and don't be too aggressive in how many slats you're cutting. Just a couple of slats is fine, just big enough to allow the contents to fall through, if you like. So putting that pallet down, we'll look to one that's now been cut through, and you can see the hole there that's been cut. Put that on. You can put the pallet on, the seat on any way you like, depending on privacy or whether you want your legs dangling over the end, or you can turn the pallet around the other way. It's really entirely up to you. You might like to have just the big front that I've got to the right there as the front of you. Then what we have to do is nail the base of the pallet to the toilet itself. So just, 4 nails or maybe 8 nails will secure it. Obviously, once it's secure, now obviously that's all should be in one piece showing you there, but obviously I haven't nailed it through yet. But then what we need to do once it's nailed is grab our rubbish bag, and we put that into the centre of the toilet, cut the complete hole out of the bed of the rubbish bag, and we need to put that over the top of the long drop. We need to nail the sides all the way around. You can do that with a staple gun, or you can do that with just some old nails that you've got and just bend them over. You've got your plastic bag done, grab your toilet seat, and then we're going to go and secure this at the top. Now, if you haven't got access to power, you've probably got some long pieces like that. You need to drill a hole through that piece of 4x2. If you haven't got power, you can bypass this and just put those 2 flaps down and then screw straight through those. And then you've got your hinge mechanism working fine. Coming over to the finished product, next thing we need to do is secure our plastic bag inside the toilet to make it really hygienic seal between that and the long drop. We need a direct fill in there and no ledges, of course. Again, grab some old nails, bend them over and secure the plastic bag to the pallet itself, and you've got a direct fill straight into your long drop. How do you build a long drop? Okay, well, let's wander over here and we'll get a couple of things, a couple of tools that we need. Just be aware though where you're drilling your long drop. So have a look for any underground power. Obviously any drain work you need to be aware of. Keep in mind where your toby is outside. We don't want you going through a water pipe when it does come on. And we need to look at where we're going to build our toilet. Obviously we need a bit of space. Now ideally you want to start off with a square, so a spade is ideal for doing that. Nice even all the way around. The soil around a lot of Christchurch, which we've dug over the last few days, has been quite sandy. So a spade and a shovel will do the job. In fact, we've been doing it a lot that way. So the shovel's got the rounded sort of end, and obviously that's good for scooping out the dirt. Okay, for a little bit of privacy, coming over to our toilet, we're just about done. You can obviously you can see how we've got it mounted on the base there. If you do want a bit more privacy, grab another pallet if you can, and just you can actually secure that on the base to the existing pallet itself. That's pretty much it. The Kiwi Long Drop. Happy flushing.